5.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 29th Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host Carol Kahn. We are coming to you live from the media room at Yavapai College, which is one of our sponsors. And I would like to introduce to you Annie with the film Lunchbox. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, and is this the first time that you've been in Sedona?
It is, yes.
And where are you from? You're from New York?
Yes, from New York City.
Yes. So tell us a little premise about your film.
Sure. So Lunchbox is a short drama, and the log line is when a Taiwanese American woman prepares lunches from her childhood, she struggles to forgive herself for pushing away her immigrant mother.
So throughout the film, you don't really know, right? So it's kind of like a process, and it's of a young girl growing up, which was supposedly you as a child.
Yeah, it's based on real events from my life, so
Yes.
it's a very personal film.
Yeah, so talk to me about that. Did you you grew up in New York City?
I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and that's
Okay.
actually where the film was shot.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, we went back to my hometown. We actually shot at my high school too, had a lot of community involvement. It was a really great healing experience to go back and make this film in my hometown.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that because I checked your Instagram, and I hope I don't cry here. But
You're going to make me cry if you start crying.
I
so.
know, I know. I'm sorry. And it usually happens here. I usually cry at least once. You did this beautiful tribute to your mother.
Yes.
And basically it was almost like an ode to her about your feelings towards her growing up.
Yeah. So, I mean, so my mother unfortunately passed away when I was 20 years old, and it was a time when I was too young to really appreciate, you know, all the things that she sacrificed and gave to me, as all mothers do to their children. I mean, if I can share, I think it'll help put into context how the film came to be. So I was scrolling on my Facebook page, and this video called The Lunchbox Moment popped up on my Facebook feed. And it was about, it was an NBC News Asian American segment about all these Asian Americans in the U.S. that they were retelling the stories of them bringing their lunches to school, and how they bring their foreign lunches to school, and all their classmates would make fun of them, and how because of that moment, they were really ashamed of their heritage, their culture, and their parents. They talked about how they would stop bringing their lunches to school and things like that. And at the end of the video, all the people in the video got to reconnect with their parents and tell them at the end how much they love them and how thankful they are for them now as adults and how sorry they were and things like that. And I was just bawling my eyes out because unfortunately I can't do that. And so literally in that moment, I just pulled out my laptop and I wrote this love letter to my mom.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will tell you, even watching that when the credits came up, that's when I was like crying. And then when I read your Instagram, that was like it. And I'm texting Tanya going, this is like, I'm hysterical here.
I'm sorry, but I'm also like, good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it because it speaks of, you know, growing up, and not only are you dealing with racism as an Asian, but it's also this kind of relationship with your mom that, you know, you're fighting against because you're almost blaming her, and it really is the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think this film, you know, it's a coming-of-age story. It's also a story that talks about how racism can affect your interpersonal relationships. But at the end of the day, it's also very much so a mother-daughter story. And I think it's been really amazing to see how people connect to this story. The audience, we screened last night, our first screening. We have another one tomorrow at 1 p.m. But the audience was so receptive, and like I could hear people were like choking up, and you know, people responded so well. It was amazing. People came up to me after the screening talking to me about their own parents and their own relationship with their parents, their relationship with food, family and food. It's an incredible experience screening here. So thank you for having me.
I know our audiences are great. They are like...
They're so good, and their questions are like so informed.
Yes.
Like the audience here is such a film-loving audience. They're very sophisticated questions. I was like, oh, I have to really think about that. It's a really good question.
I know, it does surprise filmmakers when they
It
come
really
here.
did.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, someone's asking me about the editing? Ooh, okay.
Now, do you have children, or?
I do not know.
Okay, so the child in the film was just basically kind of evolving the relationship of when you were growing up and then the next generation, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but it's, I think this is a story that, I mean, it's mainly Shirley's story, so, and it's about mothers and daughters, I'll say that.
Do you feel like that you have forgiven yourself going through life?
You're gonna make this is getting real.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I think that making this film is one step in the healing process. I think probably for a lot of people who've lost their parents, I don't know, grief is like an ever-evolving process. Even though I've made this film, it's not like, oh, all my regrets are washed away. No, it's not like that. But I feel like making this film was a step in the healing process, a step in understanding my mother better, a step in forgiving myself for some of the things that I really regret. But I think it's a lifelong process, of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, in your film career, you have been nominated as one of the outstanding up-and-coming filmmakers. And congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And also the team that you worked with is an all-female team.
Yes, so we actually do have one male producer. He's great. I'm not going to show him down to see a man. But most of the key team, most of the producing team is women. It was 4 women, 1 man, me. And then this is a women-led project. Our cinematographer is a man, and our production designer is an Asian American man as well.
And films coming up for you, what types of films are you working on moving into the future?
Well, I think so this is maybe my 3rd or 4th short film, and I think it's really time for me now to write a feature. So we just finished this film in October, so very recently, and it was such an intense process to make. I needed to take a short break, but now I'm starting to think about what I'm going to make next. Nothing's set in stone yet, nothing like fully formulated, but I'm playing around with one horror action comedy idea, and another is a dramedy. So, yeah.
It's very diverse.
Yes. Well, my last short is very different from this one. My last one was called Cake, and that was a sex comedy. So, kind of all over the place. But whatever is right for the story is what genre I write in. So.
Yeah, I think I saw bits and flashbacks of that.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very different film.
Well, tell us, when is the film going to be shown again tomorrow? So
it'll be tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the Harkins. And and then that'll be it for Sedona. So.
All right. Well, I hope you get to enjoy Sedona.
I hope so too. I'm planning to hopefully go on a hike today or tomorrow in my downtime. Everybody, I mean, it's beautiful here. So.
It is, and today's a beautiful day. So
yeah,
it may snow. Just
tomorrow.
Alert.
Oh,
I don't know. Just look at your.
Okay. I'm like, oh God.
Just make sure. But it's absolutely beautiful in the snow as well. It's just.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just have to wear different clothes. Okay. Noted.
But please do enjoy Sedona. It's so nice to have you here. Your film, I really did enjoy your film. So thank you so much, even though you made me cry.
Well, yeah. No, thank you very much to Sedona International Film Festival. Like, it's been a real joy to be here. Like I said before, the audience is really passionate and really, the reception has just been so great. And you guys have done such a great job of putting this festival on. Everything is top notch. Like, the films are great. The staff is awesome. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. And we call this the Filmmakers Film Festival because it basically honors you. So.
I feel it. That's great.
Well, thank you, Annie, for being with us.
Thank you.
And we will be back with more from the Sedona International Film Festival after this.